welcome back to the NightChild Reviews Prince, and this is day one, track one of $1 Million Show. Now, before I start this review and start to review Hit and Run, I just want to say one thing. There's probably never been an album that's divided opinion as much as this in the Prince discography. There are people that love this album, there are people that really can't stand this album. This is clearly an album that has elicited some really strong opinions. Now, the one thing I want to say is, it's perfectly okay to love this album. It's perfectly okay not to love this album, to really hate this album. It's perfectly okay. All I'd ask is one thing and one thing only. If you love it, tell me why you love it. What in particular do you love about it? What particular facets, what particular methods and kind of ideas Prince is working with do you love? If you hate it, why do you hate it? What is it that really annoys you? Just tell me in some detail. Really let me know exactly what it is you don't like about it and what you would prefer. So it's all good. Just let me know. Cool. Track one. $1 Million Show. Wow. This is used as a show opener. Prince uses this as a show opener on some of his tours, and this really works well as a show opener. This is a kind of song to get you up and kind of upbeat, to get you ready for the party. This is a song that starts off with the fantastic falsetto, the wonderful kind of a cappella sounds of Prince singing For You, and it moves into 1999, Let's Go Crazy. It kind of references all those points, and then it morphs into the song. Now, the first thing to say, this really is a Judith Hill song, really. I mean, this is, Judith Hill's vocals are prominent, they're front and centre. Prince, really, for the first couple of minutes, it's just in the background, you barely hear him. It's not until 2 minutes that Prince really comes in. But this is all talking about, this welcome to the $1 Million Show. This is something that you've never seen before. And I think this really kind of pulls into the album, because this is an album like no other Prince has ever made. This is a very different, very electronic sounding album. Now, some people have said, well, what's happened to Prince? He talks about real music for real musicians. The thing I would say is this: Prince, there's no one, I really believe no one who can genuinely say that Prince isn't a phenomenally talented musical artist. He is a phenomenal guitarist, phenomenal bass player, phenomenal drummer. He is, a master musician. He's proved that. This is something different. This is a very electronic album, and this is something he's trying, something very different, something that often, he likes to try new different things, and this is just part of it. Joshua also made reference to this. He said that this is something that he wanted to try. In fact, Josh's words here are actually quite telling. He said, I would definitely say to people that people will put this on and say, I've never heard a sound on a Prince record like this before. I've heard that said. He said, there's definitely some stuff that will tickle your ears a bit. And I think Josh also mentioned, he said that Prince is a creative. So it's not like he's going to constantly create the same new thing. There's going to be inspiration. It's constantly moving. I don't think people have heard him in this light before, but you'll definitely better turn it up loud and get your groove on. And I think this is the key thing about this song. This is a party track. This is a track determined to kind of get you up there, to get you to dance. This is a track that you play before you go out to a club or to a concert. In fact, Prince and Judith Hill are very clear on this. It's kind of like, you heard the news on the internet about the tickets you've got to get. Your favourite band's coming to town. All things that were lost are now found. And I think this is the kind of key thing here, that Prince really wants you to think about, the party and about the concert you're going to. This is about getting you ready for the album. This is almost not really an opening track so much as something you play perhaps over the PR system at a concert. Just before the show starts, as Prince has done, to really get you into that mood. It's very electronic sounding, as I said. It's also interesting how little part Prince plays in it. It's only really at the end where Prince delivers probably one of the lines of the album, when he said that, he's probably having a go at his critics. I think it's kind of very clear. He said, only the haters ever complain. Can't hear Jack in the back of my plane, which I think is quite an amazing line from Prince. He's rather saying one of two things: either he's flying above it, the criticism doesn't bother him, he's not doing it for that, or it's saying, I'm living the lifestyle, I'm the millionaire, I'm the rock star, I'm in my plane, and I can't hear any of this criticism here. I'm just going to do the things I want to do. As an opening track, I would call it a pre-opening track. This is like building up. This is like, here's the album, let's get ready for the album. This is a high octane, club track. This really is. There's a couple of little things also to look out for. At 2 minutes 20, there's this breakdown, this kind of instrumental breakdown, which is really interesting. It's really worth checking out. It's about 2 minutes 20. And also the very last 10 to 15 seconds of this track go into a kind of really orchestral, kind of classical string section, just for 10 to 15 seconds, almost reminiscent of the end of the Love Sexy era tracks, something like that, like a Anastasia track. But really interesting. So if you get a chance, check that out. Those instrumental breaks.
Quite.
Like I said, largely a Judith Hill track, but she has a powerful voice. A lot of people have said this is somewhat reminiscent of Beyonce, and said that they can see a bit of Beyonce in this. And some people say they almost find themselves singing Beyonce, in the chorus, and it's very similar to that. This is clearly a sort of desire to become a little bit more mainstream. This is appealing to a kind of more youth-orientated market. But then this is the thing about this album. Prince recorded a lot of vocals. He handed it over to Josh and said to Josh, "Do your thing." And I think this is clearly evident in this. He's going for a different demographic. The thing I love about Prince is there's always something new. He's doing something different. He's trying something different. No one, and I mean no one, could blame him if he just said, "Do you know what, I'm just going to do what I do. It's fantastic. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to carry on trying that out." Quite frankly, Prince owes us nothing. He has delivered phenomenal amounts of albums. Quite frankly, if he released 2 or 3 albums in his career, I couldn't complain. He has given us so much, and I love the fact that he's trying something new. He's doing something for him. He's clearly, trying something that a lot of people will not like, and some people will like. It's a very divisive album. There are really strong opinions on each side. The Prince community at the moment is kind of, I would say, the views I've seen, probably mixed, probably 60-40. In favour of liking, really, really loving the album, and maybe 40% not, but depending on what websites and what forums you go to. But it is really a clearly divisive album. This album clearly isn't boring, and this album clearly is something that has really engaged fans. And if nothing else, it's Prince, it's controversial. So let me know, what do you think? What do you think about this opening track, $1 Million Show? Is it a $1 million song?